Every year, more than 1 billion people in India just stop. They stop to watch one single parade. And it's not just some procession, right? It's this incredibly detailed story, a single day where India basically tells the world and itself who it is. And this year's parade, the 77th Republic Day, well, it was something else. It was really revealing.
So what can one parade really tell you about a nation's soul? I mean, it's a huge question, right? But that's exactly what we're going to dig into here. Because this wasn't just about the fancy uniforms and the big show. Nope. This was a message, and it was all about history, power, and some serious ambition.
You see, they built the whole day around these 3 core ideas: the past, the present, and the future. They looked back, honoring a freedom song that's 150 years old. They showed off a totally new way of thinking about their military, and they painted a really clear picture of where they're headed. So let's break down exactly how they pulled that off.
All right, so first up, let's talk about the past. The whole celebration, the entire thing, was anchored by this one piece of literature that honestly became the very soul of India's fight for freedom.
Now, for anyone who might not know, the name of this piece is Vande Mataram, which basically means, I bow to you, Mother. And look, this was so much more than just a song. It was the chant, the mantra of a revolution. You could almost call it a sonic weapon against colonial rule. And the big deal this year? The whole day was a celebration of its 150th anniversary.
And you can really trace its journey here. I mean, think about it. It started out as just a poem tucked away in a novel. And from there, it grew and grew until it became the official national song of a free India. This piece of history wasn't just a side note. It was woven into everything, from the design on the invitation cards to the art you'd see along the parade route.
Okay, so once that historical foundation was laid, the parade made a sharp turn. It pivoted from the past right into the present, and boy, did it send a clear message about where India stands today in terms of power and strategy. Just look at the guest list. That alone tells you so much. Instead of inviting, a single president or prime minister, they invited the top brass from the entire European Union. That's a huge diplomatic signal. It shows a real shift towards building partnerships with big blocs, not just single countries. And it probably doesn't hurt that there are whispers of a massive EU-India trade deal in the works. And this strategic thinking didn't stop with the diplomats. Oh no, it went straight to the military part of the parade. This year, they completely ditched the old-school traditional march past. What they did instead was, well, it was radically different. They called it a battle array. And the whole point wasn't just to show off shiny new tanks. It was to demonstrate how all those pieces, the tanks, the drones, the soldiers, all fight together as one cohesive modern fighting force.
So you're probably wondering, how does this battle array thing actually work? Well, think of it in a few phases. First up, you've got your eyes and ears on the battlefield. That's your intelligence and reconnaissance. Then you bring in the combat support. This is where you see some really cool tech, like unmanned systems and what they call loitering munitions, which are basically these super smart drones that can just hang out, wait, and pick the absolute perfect moment to strike. Okay, then you unleash the heavy hitters. We're talking T-90 and Argent tanks, Apache helicopters, the real firepower. And wrapped around all of this, a massive, multi-layered air defense shield to protect the whole operation. It's like watching a live demo of modern, connected warfare unfold right in front of you.
And this whole new setup, this battle array, it's not just some theory they cooked up. No, it comes directly from the lessons they learned in a very real, very recent conflict called Operation Sindoor. This was a campaign of high-precision military strikes that happened back in May of 2025.
And they definitely wanted to make sure nobody forgot about it during the parade. I mean, they had a whole tableau themed Victory Through Jointness to celebrate how the Army, Navy, and Air Force all work together. They even rolled out a mobile command center to show how it all works, and the lead fighter jet formation, they named it Sindoor in honor of that very operation.
All right, so after all that talk of military might, the parade took another turn. The focus shifted inward to the people, the ones who are really the backbone of the nation. This whole next part was about celebrating India's human capital.
And where do you start when you're celebrating your people? With the youngest achievers, of course. So they highlighted the National Children's Awards, which recognizes kids doing amazing things in all sorts of fields: science, tech, art, social service, sports, and, as you're about to see, just mind-blowing bravery.
And to show you this isn't just some abstract award, get this story. A 9-year-old boy named Ajay Raj. We're not talking about a kid who coded an app here. We're talking about pure, unbelievable courage. This little boy fought off a crocodile to save his dad. I mean, wow. These are the kinds of heroes the nation was putting on a pedestal.
And this whole idea, this philosophy, it extends to the big civilian honors too, the Padma Awards. This quote really nails it. The focus has shifted to finding and honoring the unsung heroes, people who are making a huge difference in their communities, at the grassroots level, often way, way outside of the media spotlight.
And then, in a really fascinating move, they gave the highest peacetime award for bravery, the Ashoka Chakra, to Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla. Now think about that. He's the first Indian to visit the International Space Station. So by giving an astronaut this award, India is sending a powerful message, right? They're linking the idea of bravery, of gallantry, to the next great frontier, space.
And that, of course, brings us perfectly to the final act of this whole story, the future. This part of the parade was all about tech, innovation, and this really powerful theme of self-reliance.
So, the key phrase you need to know here is Atmanirbhar Bharat. Seriously, this is one of the most important concepts in India today. It translates to self-reliant India, and it's this huge, nationwide mission to design, develop, and build their own crucial technology right there at home.
And you better believe the parade put that vision on full display. First up, the S-400. This was its big public debut. It's a total game changer in air defense, basically a massive, long-range protective shield.
Next up, something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. India's own defense research organization, the DRDO, showed off a new hypersonic anti-ship missile. We're talking Mach 5. That's 5 times the speed of sound. A weapon that fast is almost impossible to stop. It's a quantum leap in their ability to deter threats.
And to cap it all off, 1,000 drones. 1,000 of them, all made in India, putting on this absolutely spectacular light show at the beating retreat ceremony. But this wasn't just pretty lights in the sky. It was a symbol, a really powerful symbol that they are mastering the kind of drone swarm technology that is literally defining the future of warfare.
So you take all of these pieces, honoring the past, modernizing the military, that huge push for self-reliance, and they're all pointing to one single massive goal, Viksit Bharat 2047. And what that means is Developed India 2047. The national ambition is to transform India into a fully developed nation by its 100th birthday.
So yeah, one parade, it really can tell you a nation's entire story, can it? It's a story that starts by honoring a revolutionary past, uses that to build a powerful present, and is aimed squarely at an ambitious, self-reliant future. Which kind of leaves you wondering, right? With all that's been said and done this year, what story is India going to tell the world next year?